So following the shortest processing time rule, we'll see the first come first serve rule. So this is called single mission scheduling. This is a dispatch priority rule. Okay. So as the name indicates here, we are going to mission, or we are going to feed the job that is going to enter the system first. Okay. So in a queue, so we have a queue. The first job to come inside the queue is A, followed by B, C, E, and E. So we are going to feed the jobs in the order in which they enter the system. So the job A will be processed first, followed by B, C, D, and E. So I have arranged the jobs in that particular order. Okay. So first step is we have to find the sequence depending upon the rule we are going to use. Then once you find the sequence, then the process is same. Okay. Similar to the SPT rule, what we done is once we find the sequence, we arrange the job in that particular sequence. Then we wrote the corresponding processing time on the due date. Then we found out the cumulative processing time for each job, that is nothing but your completion time or flow time. Then we determine the lateness and tardiness. Okay. Finally, we found out the mean flow time. So each particular rule will minimize, each particular rule will maximize certain performance measure. For example, the shortest processing time will minimize the mean flow time. So this rule will focus on finding a sequence of job that will minimize the mean flow time. Okay. Similarly, let us see the first come first serve. So we have arranged the job in this particular sequence in which the jobs will enter the mission. So we written the corresponding processing time and the corresponding due time. Then we have determined the cumulative processing time. So 20. So 20 plus 30 will give you 50. So similar to the SPT rule, we are going to find the cumulative flow time, that is at the end of 76th minute, job D will come out of the mission, and at the end of the 94th minute, job E will come out of the mission. So the next span time or the total completion time is 94. Okay, the total completion time will remain same for all the particular priority rules, right? So I am determining the total flow time. So when I add all these 5 values, I will be getting 300. 300 by 5 will give you 60. Okay. So if you compare this rule and the previous rule, you can see that the mean flow time is higher in first come first serve. Okay. So SPT focuses on minimizing this particular performance measure. In case of SPT rule, always your mean flow time will be reduced. Okay. Then I have determined the lateness, which is nothing but the flow time minus the due date. So the negative lateness indicates better service level, and the positive lateness indicates poor service level. Then I have determined the tardiness. So the jobs with the negative lateness will get a value of 0, and job with the positive value, that will be directly written. Okay. So we are having totally 2 tardy jobs. So once you determine these parameters, you can find out the performance measure. So this is first come first serve. Next one is last come first serve rule. Okay. So we have the mission and in a queue. Okay. So first the job A enters. In the queue, the next job B comes, C and D and E. Okay, so this is the order in which the job is standing in the queue. Okay. Whichever job is in the last of the queue, I will be feeding that first. Okay, so the sequence will go from here. That is, the last job in the queue will be processed first. So the sequence will be E, D, C, B, and A. So these are the heuristic rules. Okay, the first come first serve or the last come first serve, these are heuristic rules. So I'll be arranging the jobs in that particular order. That is, the last job will given the first priority. Then I'll be writing the corresponding processing time and the due time of the jobs. Okay. Then I'll be finding the flow time, which is nothing but the cumulative of the processing time. Okay. So 18 plus 16, that will give you 34. Okay. So at the end of the 44th minute, job C will be completed. Then I'm finding the lateness and tardiness and the corresponding mean flow time. Okay. So this is the last come first serve. So let me repeat again. In case of all these dispatch priority rules, only the sequence will vary. Okay, you have to find out the optimal sequence. Then Once you find the sequence, the remaining steps will be same. You have to arrange the job at the particular sequence, write down the corresponding processing time and the due time, and find out the flow time, lateness, tardiness, then calculate the performance measures. Right. The next one is early due date. So this early due date rule will minimize the maximum lateness. Okay. So whenever you want to minimize this particular performance measure, that is maximum lateness, you will go with the early due date. Okay. If you compare this rule with the previous rule, you can see that the maximum lateness is 64, but here it is only 80. Okay. So in case of early due date, the maximum lateness performance measure will be minimized. In case of shortest processing time rule, the mean flow time will be minimized. Okay. So here the jobs will be fed in the increasing order of the due date. Okay. You see the jobs are arranged in the increasing order of the due date. So job with the least due date is given first priority because job C has to be submitted to the customer at the end of 25th day. So job C will be first missioned. Okay. So I am arranging in that particular order. Then I am finding out the flow time, lateness, tardiness, determine the performance measure. Okay. If you compare this rule with the SPT, see the mean flow time is 54 here, right? Whereas in SPT it is 47. Even though the lateness is minimized in the early due date rule, the flow time is not minimized. Okay. So each priority rule will minimize only certain performance measure. We cannot achieve a multi minimization of performance measure. The next rule is critical ratio rule. Okay. So critical ratio parameter actually means the due date divided by the processing time. Okay. So what I am going to do is I am going to find out the critical ratio of each job. Okay. Then I am going to arrange the job in the increasing order of the critical ratio. Right. This is because if I give priority to the job with minimum due date, sometimes the range or the uniformity gets lost, right? So sometimes the due date will be 20 days. Sometimes the due date will be 10 minutes. Okay, I have to submit the job within 10 minutes. So this conversion that might get lost when I use EDD, early due date rule. So in order to retain the uniformity, I am dividing the due date with the processing time. Okay. So now I am going to arrange the job in the increasing order of the critical ratio. So the order will be A, B, C, E followed by D. Okay. Later, the same step, I will be writing down the corresponding processing time and the due time. Then I will be finding out the cumulative flow time. Then I will be finding out the lateness, tardiness, and finally the mean flow time. Okay. The last rule is slack time remaining. Okay. So slack time is due date minus processing time. Okay. So for each job, I will be determining the slack time, and I will be then arranging the jobs in the increasing order of the slack time. Okay, so let us find the sequence. The sequence is, so let me first find out the slack time remaining. 20 minus 30, that is 10. Sorry, 30 minus 20, that is 10. What is slack is how long I can delay the job processing of job A. Okay, so I have to give this job within 30 days. Okay, and it requires nearly 20 days to process job A. So I can delay by 10 days. Okay, that is known as slack. How long I can delay a particular job. I am arranging the jobs in the increasing order of the delay time. Okay, so this is the sequence A, C, B, E, D. So once I find the sequence, the remaining step will be same. I will be writing the corresponding processing time and due time. Then find out the cumulative flow time, lateness, tardiness, and finally the performance measure. Okay, so that's all about the single mission schedule.